Gemini, you are having a breakthrough. It feels like you've been pushing up against something for quite some time, trying to break through to the other side, and now you're doing it. It feels like you are regaining some self-confidence or some power in your life. You're feeling more empowered. There could be some kind of activation going on with you spiritually, but this is a breakthrough. The cards I got for you, Wolf Moon, Restoration, Incubation, and Growth, with the card Power. So your power is growing. And when I talk about power, I'm not talking about ego-based power games. I'm talking about divine power, empowerment, the understanding that you have free will and the will to manifest and transmute energies in your life. That's what I mean by power. That you can shape your reality in a way that serves you. And it feels like maybe it was the last full moon that passed or the one that's coming up, where it's like this was the first sprout in the soil that has appeared after a long winter of wondering when a seed will grow. Maybe something happened in the winter time that was significant here. But it's almost like this seed, this sprout, that's going to grow into this massive tree I'm seeing over here, needed the time to incubate, to be in the dark, underneath the soil, in the earth, getting all the nutrients it needs out of view from others. Okay, so there's a time in your life, and I feel like maybe it was in the winter, or just in the last few months, maybe around 6 months ago, or 8 months ago, where you were keeping to yourself quite a bit about your emotions, about your thoughts. There's something that you wanted for yourself or something that you believed about yourself, something beautiful that needed time to grow and be nurtured properly. And now's the time for it to come through. We have number 16 here, and in the tarot, that's the Tower. And I feel like this is kind of that sprout coming up from the earth, and it comes up like this big tree, this big, huge like structure, and it shocks everyone, your power. And I feel like you are invoking or you are creating some kind of tower moment, and I feel like this is an epiphany for others based on something you say or do. And I feel like someone doesn't see this coming, or people don't see this coming. I'm hearing localized. Something about you localizing a source of energy. You know where to put something now. You know what to do with something. You know who you are at a deeper level than you did before. So the other cards I got for you, Gemini, is As Above, So Below, Duality, Balance, and Flow, and Assessing. So this is you deciding what brings your life into balance and what creates imbalance in your life, and deciding what to do about that. And I feel like you're coming up with solutions that you couldn't have come up with before, because now you see things different. You perceive things differently. And I also feel like there's a self-understanding and a softness towards the self, in which you understand that you needed some time to be in the dark, to be, in the soil, getting the nutrients. You needed some time to process something or think things through for yourself and not really blab about town, about your plans and all of this stuff. You needed that time and space. And you're not being hard on yourself either, because you understand that it was necessary for you to grow into this strong tree that you are becoming. There's a big life review I'm getting coming up. It's like you put your life on the table. Okay, you see all the different things you've done, all your interests, all the people in your life, and it's almost like I'm seeing someone sort, maybe it's like a vision board idea, I don't know, but it's something like you're sorting everything out, like, okay, this goes over here, that goes over there, this is something I don't want to do anymore, that's really what I want to focus on. You're prioritizing what matters to you most. And this is because you have some clarity now in your noggin, I'm getting, in your mind, about what it is that you've really been through. I don't think you understood the depths of what you've been through and the effects it had on your soul and your psyche and your body until around now. And now you're honoring all that you've been through, and you have compassion for yourself and maybe for others who are involved in situations that hurt you. And I feel like you're realizing that you have more power right now than you have ever had in your entire life. And I feel that's exciting. You have the power to do what you want right now. Okay, let's get a couple more cards, Gemini, and see what comes through for you. For Geminis, spirit guides. For Geminis, we have true will. That's what I'm talking about. Look, as above, so below, another image. So you realize, as above, what's in your mind will be what's below in your actual 3D reality. It will be what you create. And because you've cleared out some mental stuff, okay, maybe some dishonesty you had with yourself and about who you are and your circumstances and why things happened, or maybe someone else's dishonesty that was influencing you, because you've cleared that out, you're able to honestly manifest the things that truly resonate with you. And what comes next, I'm getting, is going to ring true. What comes next is going to ring true. Pleasure. We have pleasure, formlessness. Ooh, look at these cards. As above, so below again. Moon and work. Ooh. There's something about your divine feminine aspect that you're really embracing and growing, your creativity, your ability to nurture and care for others. A lot of you were burdened at a young age with caring for others, okay? And maybe your parental instincts, like your maternal or your paternal instincts to care for others were kind of, I'm hearing, dipped in resentment due to the past, maybe subconsciously, right? You didn't really want to go into that role, but now you're embracing some kind of nurturing role in somebody's life or a group of people's lives. You're healing a mother wound at a deep level. And I feel like it's interesting. I feel like you've cleared through a father, this isn't very psychological, but you cleared through a father wound. Like that's what was creating some confusion and maybe dishonesty, a distorted view of your feminine aspect. And now because you were able to do that, you're healing a mother wound. Work with moon, which represents mother. So mother and father here could be literal, or it could represent your feminine and masculine aspects or parts of yourself that are fathering or mothering you. But I feel like this integration of this divine feminine aspect of yours is giving you a lot of pleasure, because not only is it a nurturing aspect, it's a creative one. Formlessness. It's full of potential. It's this idea that the door is open. I'm breaking through. I'm having a breakthrough, breaking through the door, going to the other side. And what's on the other side is up for me to create. It's nobody else's vision of what should be mine or what can be mine. It is going to be something that I create based on my true will, my divine power. So I love this. Like, you're really assessing what you can do with all this power now. Now that dishonesty is out of the way. Nothing is tainted anymore. Some of you have disconnected from technology, or you're being more critical about your use of technology, maybe social media and things like that, and how it could be obscuring your vision or influencing your vision, or you need to think about taking a little bit of a break there and relying more on your divine wisdom, your inner compass, your intuition, rather than, you know, some of the stuff that is propagated and told to us by others or by society at large. You're realizing there's some dishonesty there that is tainting reality, your reality. You could have found yourself quite obsessed with something that was going on in your life, or maybe around you or in the world. And you're realizing that the more you think about that and obsess about that, the more it like keeps growing and growing and doubling and tripling and quadrupling. It just like keeps growing. As above, so below. And so if you remove that from your focal point, that distraction, or maybe it's not a distraction, maybe for you it was some kind of wound. If you put that, compartmentalize that, put that over there for a second and allow your mind to free up, you can create a new reality for yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Growth. Yeah, you're able to grow your mind, to see past illusions, to grow your own independent thought. Yeah, I feel like you're breaking some illusions here that maybe were placed upon people in general in the world, or maybe yourself. You're like, hey, wait a second, that doesn't have to be the case. That isn't the case. I see what's going on here. I can create a different world for myself. This beautiful mothering aspect of you. And maybe you are having a healing connection to your mom, whether she's in the flesh or not. But it's like you understand something about, oh, didn't we have that? We had that. Yeah, we had a whole reading on Gemini and the mom and the wound. So if you watch that reading, perhaps from then to now, you've really sorted through something. This is so beautiful. That's so good. Congratulations. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll link that reading in the box that comes up here so you can check it out if this is resonating. Because Spirit's saying, like, because you've healed this, you're now able to create in a much more, well, it's a lot quicker that you're going to manifest things now. It's just going to start happening. And a much more conscious way is how you'll begin to create. And it will bring you pleasure. It will bring you a lot of pleasure to see the fruits of your mind come into form. Okay, Gemini. Let's get into your reading and see what else comes through. For Geminis, spirit guides. For Geminis. Let's get a little more specific, Spirit. Okay, not this deck. I was just thinking, I don't think it's this deck. And then Spirit confirmed that. Let me just see what fell on the floor first. 5 of water. I just rolled over it with my chair. Yeah, this is the regret, the sadness, the remorse. It fell on the floor. It's no longer part of your deck. Not for now, at least. You know, you don't need to sit in that space any longer, or you're moving out of it real soon. So let's move to a different deck. Let's move to this deck. I'm also going to get an animal spirit card. see what comes through. I'll put all the names of the decks I use in the description box below. This is getting quite formlessness on the table. It's quite chaotic and messy, but we're creating here. And I feel like this is what your energy, right? Things are getting maybe a little bit big, abstract, all over the place. Lots of incoming ideas and information and creative sparks, but it's all good. So embrace the formlessness right now, because it's just energy that's here for you to bring something into form. We wouldn't be able to bring harmony into our life if we didn't have the energies available to us, and those energies are often disharmonious when we first encounter them. Peacock, beauty and completeness. Power. Love and motherhood. Yeah. See, Gemini? You're healing some mother wound. It doesn't matter your gender. But there's something here that's growing inside of you. And it's bringing completion to a long, difficult cycle that has brought about interesting characters into your life. Okay? Magic, destiny, but along with those interesting characters and experiences has come your recognition of your own magic, and that you can manifest and control your destiny based on your divine will. Okay, so let's see what else here. Raven, pelican, and peacock, all birds. So these are spirits, animal spirits that maybe you want to pay attention to. This to me represents a message with the pelican. There's a message, and also diving deep. The pelican dives deep with its beak there. And the peacock is about showing yourself, expressing yourself, not being afraid to be seen. And the raven is about wisdom, craftiness, ingenuity. So I feel like those are aspects of yourself that you're allowing to be part of your own creative process and your sense of empowerment. So really try to embrace those parts of yourself, your ability to dive deep, to receive messages, to be seen for who you are in all your glory and beauty. People are drawn to you, Gemini, because of your wisdom, your magic that they can sense and perceive in your words, in your mind, in your essence, in your aura. So embrace your magic, embrace your gifts, embrace your power, embrace your wisdom, and use that crafty, clever aspect of yourself to create something beautiful, because it feels right now that, the canvas is blank and it's up to you to paint what's on it. So it's like if you were to come to me for a reading, which I'm not doing personals right now, I'll tell you guys when I am. But if you were to come to me and be like, what's up ahead? I'd be like, I don't know, you tell me, because it's up to you right now. You've cleared out some karma that would, unfold a certain reality for you. And you're at this starting point, this formlessness, where you have all the colors that you could ever imagine and your little palette there and all the paintbrushes that you need to create whatever it is that you want. So what are you going to create? I feel like it's going to be quite amazing, because it's coming from this place within you that is cleansed and clear of chaos and I'm getting something about someone else's contrived vision or misuse of power and magic. Maybe some manipulation here. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what wants to come through for you, Gemini. This is an interesting energy here. You feel quite relaxed. The Emperor. That masculine energy, that father stuff that you've kind of, well, tell me more about it. Tell me more about the father stuff. Five of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you've learned how your experience with masculine energy, authoritative masculine energy, in whatever form that came for you in life, taught you some things. Maybe how to win at all costs, or how people can manipulate, or maybe even taught you how to manipulate on some level. There was some masculine influence in your life that showed you a way forward that was built on dishonesty in some sense. And I feel like you always knew that, okay? And maybe you were attracted to dishonest masculine energies in your life, in your attempt to kind of work through that energy and understand what it really is all about and disconnect from it and live in your truth. You've done that with the Page of Pentacles. You've learned some kind of lesson here about some underhanded ways or games that people play. Ten of Cups in reverse, and how this affected your view of long-term happiness, or even happiness in a family situation. Now, you could have had a wonderful father, and if that's your story and if that's your experience, maybe there was another masculine energy in life, some kind of patriarchal energy in the world, or a boss or a caregiver on some other level, or a partner that you were with, or how you were taught to express your own masculine energy. Came at the expense of long-term happiness for all. There's a real sense of like, it's all about me and what I need, and it's not about anything else or anybody else. Okay, there's a little bit of coldness here. You've learned all about that. I just needed to know. I just need to know what you learned. But you have already hashed that all out on a deep level. Even if you haven't consciously worked through it in those terms, I feel like energetically you've hashed out some big wounds around masculine energy. So tell me about this mother wound that has healed or is healing. For many of you, it's healed. And it could be that you're no longer affected and impacted by your mom, or maternal energies, divine feminine energies, the way that you were before, or shadow feminine energies that you were before. Or maybe there has been some forgiveness or some understanding. I don't know. Something's happened. Let's see. Four of Pentacles. You've learned how to create boundaries. Maybe you had to be the father figure here when you were growing up. Nine of Cups, Four of Pentacles, King of Cups. Somebody else's hopes and dreams could have fell on your shoulders, or you had to make them happy, fulfill them emotionally over and above your own needs. So that's healed. Five of Wands in reverse. You've resolved that conflict, or that's what's happening right now. So let's get into a spread that's about you. Not that this hasn't been about you, but let's see your energy. Temperance. Balancing. The balance. Finding the balance between all of this. As above, so below. Alchemy. I feel like you've matured. Let me get all the cards out, Spirit. Someone else is learning this lesson around you. Could be a sibling, could be partner, friend. They're going to start relying on you or depending on you in some way. I don't know if you want this or not, because what you don't see coming is the Three of Swords. And I feel like this isn't your heartbreak or your heart pain, your mental anguish. I feel like this is somebody else suffering and going through a difficult time. Because your opportunity is the Knight of Wands, and I'm seeing this as you going towards the Three of Swords. So for some of you, what you're creating in your life is really to help other people heal from heartbreak and to reintroduce people into the magic of life and empowering people to trust their divine will and to harness their divine will to create their own destiny. And I feel like you're coming at this through like a mothering kind of energy. So it's nurturing, it's caring, it's soft. And in order to do this, you had to work through a mother wound. Or else you would be maybe the nasty mother instead. But you're not. You have worked through things. Okay, so your opportunity is to help other people, Gemini. Tell me more about this. Like, you're an angel. No, you know, of course your job is to help other people. This is your energy, your temperance. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There is a message here about not giving someone all the answers, though. And maybe this goes back to that canvas, the blank canvas. The best healers teach others how to heal themselves. They don't try to heal those people for them. Did I say that right? You know what I'm saying? The best healers allow people to figure out their own path. Okay, so I feel like maybe there's a quick, easy solution that you see, or in the past you would have said, like, why don't you just do this? Why are you doing that? Why, like, it's so stupid. Why, you know what I mean? Like, you saw the solutions, you saw the answers, and this time around, in this cycle that you're in, you have a more, like, elevated perspective where you maybe see potential solutions, but you honor that, hey, that's their path that they need to walk. I can give them suggestions or insights, but they ultimately have to do the heavy lifting and the work for themselves, because if you try to do that for them, it doesn't actually create spiritual growth for that person. Spiritual growth can only come when you do the work. Because the challenge here for you is the sun. And this is like, I know everything under the sun. And this would be the masculine energy coming in like that, the father figure, like, this is how it's done. Let me teach you. Let me show you. Now you do as I do. You know, that very kind of stereotypical father way. Now, maybe it's in a loving way, but it's time for somebody or a group of people to journey into the unknown of their own soul to find their own solutions. Because even though you might know some of these people really well in your life, you can't see them in their entirety, just like no one can see you in your entirety. And there are things in their shadows, in their psyche, in their soul, that have been hidden from you and from themselves and from others. And it's their job to go retrieve that gold and to find it and to cherish it and to honor it. So the best thing for you to do is just to be in this beautiful energy that you're in, is to be empowered, to use your will to manifest whatever it is that you'd like to create, to show up in all your beauty, to dive deep with yourself. And in a way, you're kind of role modeling that energy to someone else. Now, I do see that you give some insights, you deliver, nuggets of wisdom here for sure. But you don't push it. You're not hand-holding here. And that's a good thing. Yeah, so maybe you had a little bit of an overprotective mother for some of you. And you could have gone that route with your healing capabilities, like really getting in there with people's problems. But because you've resolved that issue within yourself, you're able to take a step back and have faith and trust that people are resilient. And yes, while we do always need help from time to time, there is a time and a place where someone has to just do it for themselves. And it can actually be damaging in some instances to overstep in our efforts to help someone. Because sometimes the help that we think we're providing isn't helpful at all. So Spirit's saying you're going to know the difference now between when to really get in there with someone and when to step back. And even when you step back, you're still being a support system. And that stepping back but still being there for people, you know, just being a presence, just being you, it's a wise move. And it can only come through experiencing your own growth. Your advice, the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is you dropping the nuggets of wisdom, but the Ace of Pentacles is like they're going to have to pick it up. You drop the nugget, and they have to bend down to pick that up. You don't put it in their hand. Okay? I'm not saying this is what you should do all times in every situation, in every scenario. It's just in this message. Yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse with the Ace of Swords in the upright. This is putting it on the ground for someone to pick up. So maybe this is you writing a book that someone has to read and work through themselves. Or maybe it's some kind of therapeutic technique you employ in your practice. Or maybe it's some wisdom that you share about your own life and your own experiences, and you hope that someone will take it as advice for themselves without directly being advice for them. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's very kind in that approach and respectful of other people's autonomy and agency and their ability to decide whether they're ready for something or not. 9 of Pentacles in reverse for what's going to manifest in the next 3 months. Let's see. For Geminis. Page of Cups in reverse and Death in reverse. I feel like this is going to have a little bit of a reverse effect, meaning that, how do I say that? More and more people are going to be drawn towards you, Gemini. And they're going to keep coming to you for help, or you're going to keep coming across people who could use some guidance or whatever. But just because this keeps happening over and over doesn't mean you need to change your approach. It's actually a signal from the universe that you're doing the right thing, and that these souls are coming towards you because you have exactly, or you're doing exactly what Spirit wants you to do in this case. Okay, so yeah. Let me get one more. Spirit. Acceptance. How do I say this? This is the hand holding, but not hand holding. This is teaching people how to accept what has happened in their life, who they are, their own power, their own magic. And Spirit is saying that you're going to be able to show people how to accept their higher self's will and call to their path and to their passion because you accepted your own. So if you know that you're called to go do something and you're having trouble accepting this for yourself for whatever reason, go forward with it. Because you're a healer, for sure, whoever I'm connecting to today. You have the Midas touch, you have the healing touch. And I feel like this brings you a lot of pleasure to be able to help and heal others. Realization. I was looking at the card obsession. I feel like you're going to help people get out of some kind of obsessive thinking that they have. Okay? So Gemini, I'm going to go into an extended. Am I? I don't think I am, actually. I think this message is complete. We had that, right? Completeness? Yeah, I think that's it. So maybe I should pull one more card then. Yeah. For Gemini. Closing message for Gemini, Spirit. Anything else that needs to be said? Ancestral. Look at this. It's amazing. Ancestral wisdom. Lay of the land. I feel like this is you. You know, you are acting as the ancestor. You have the lay of the land. You're passing down the wisdom. And then we have benefactor, grace and generosity. The dream thief and the jeweled web, connectivity. I feel like you are showing people how to disconnect from other energies that steal their dreams, steal their power, disempower them, and reconnect with those who actually do, including you. It's quite beautiful. I want to read the benefactor to you, and then we'll close there. So if you had any doubts in your mind, if you were a healer, then stop it, quit it, because you obviously are. Or if you should do any kind of healing work with others, yes. But remember the advice and guidance that was given here, because we can be tempted to really get into the thick of things with people and really try to help them out. But if they're not ready, it could be harmful to us and it could be harmful to them. Grace and generosity, gifts, support, mentoring. When the benefactor weaves her energy into your life, you're put on notice that all manner of positive reinforcement is coming your way. The universe wants to let you know that just as you've been generous with others, serving with your gifts, even in the smallest capacity, so will you be rewarded in myriad ways. The most beautiful gift the benefactor gives you is the recognition that you are stewarding and sharing abundance on behalf of a higher source, one that is always working through you. The motives for her generosity to you, as well as yours to others, are intangible, although you will see results reflected in the material world. The benefactor reminds you that it's in the purity of your desire to share without the need for reciprocity that paradoxically your initial generosity is reciprocated tenfold, seemingly without any connection to the original act, which means that you are going to get an abundant amount of reward, positive reinforcement, manifestations coming your way, because you didn't even ask for it. You just helped and healed out of the goodness of your heart. Truly, I know it's a cliche phrase, but out of the goodness of your heart, because you felt called to do it. And not only that, but your soul knew that it had to go through quite a storm to understand how to do that with integrity. How to give to others with integrity and not asking or expecting for some kind of pat on the back or some kind of self-serving reward. Okay? Yeah, hope that makes sense. Dream sharing and caring into being, and you will be amazed to see this vibrant seed take root and spread. Do it just because, and the benefactor will give you her blessing. Maybe some of you want to think about doing a little something for someone, maybe a stranger, maybe someone you know, just out of your pure generosity, because you feel called to do it. There are times to give freely, and there's times not to, of course, of course. But Spirit's kind of saying, go ahead with something here. Because whatever you give, you have become so wise and you've learned so much that you're not going to overgive. You're not going to tire yourself out. You're not going to expend your energies to a point where you can't fulfill yourself afterwards. You know your boundaries. All right, Gemini, that's what I have for you. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.